DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. We're going to talk about becoming a finisher here. Now, this could be for the athletes, especially those of you who play sports, not sports, but basketball specifically. We know if you do a nice move in a game, but then you miss the layup, or you miss the jump shot, or your team doesn't score the points, or you don't win the game, then you don't want to be bragging too much about doing a move because you didn't finish it by scoring the points. Or in any sport, having good stats or having some highlights or whatever is cool, but the objective of the game is to win the game, and ultimately at the end of the season you want to win the championship. So we want to talk about being a finisher. Now at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how to get this book right here, this physical book, shipped to your doorstep for free. So make sure you stick to the end of the video so I can tell you how to get this, and let you know that right down below I have the number posted, but I'll tell you right now I got a text number. I want you to send me a text and let me know the most valuable thing you get from this video. My number is 305-384-6894, 305-384-6894. So anyway, let's get into this topic of being a finisher. As I said, in sports, sometimes you see that now we got the culture of highlights. I think I played a part in that, especially with ball. People putting their workouts and their drills and their moves online, but remember that the point of doing a move is not to do the move and get the oohs and the ahs from the crowd. The point of doing a move is to create some space so you can have a better pass or a better shot to get the ball in the basket so your team can actually win the game. That's the point of getting the job done. So let's always remember what job number one is, which is winning. So let's talk about this. Finishing. Number one, you got to approach your work with the mentality of completing the job. That's the mentality. The mentality is not show off for social media. The mentality is not let me say that I worked hard all day. The mentality is not let me have a bunch of fans who think I'm all that because maybe I'm better than them, or I'm flashy, or I got a certain style that they're interested in. All of those things are great. If you want to post yourself on the internet, go ahead and do it. If you want people to be impressed by you, that's all good. If you want to have fans, you want to have an audience, you want to build a brand, go ahead and do that too. But remember what the object of the game is. In sports, the object is to win the game. In school, the object is to pass that class and pass that grade, and ultimately you want to graduate and get a degree. In business, the object is to serve your audience, serve your customers, your clients, whoever it is paying you. They are paying you because they're trusting that you can help them get to a further place, and that's why they're willing to invest in you, and you make sure that they get a return on that investment. Those are all the objectives. That's it. There's nothing else to the game. In sports, the object is to win. That's it. Whatever you need to do in between the start of the game and winning the game, you do it. But if you don't win the game, it doesn't matter what all the other stuff is that you did. In business, the object of the game is to perform and deliver for your clients and your customers. If you don't do that, you will be out of business, or you will lose business. Your clients will dump you and they'll get rid of you. So remember that the object is to complete the task. Be finished with it, done, move on to the next thing. That's the only reason that you are in the game in the first place, any game. Point number two, don't take your foot off the gas until the job is complete. This happens often with people, again, when we get into this mentality of celebrating our little victories that we're getting along the way. Somebody says something slick and they feel excited because they got retweeted on Twitter, or you got a bunch of likes on Instagram, or people are feeling your drill videos on YouTube or TikTok. Listen, the purpose of the drill video is hopefully that you're doing those drills so you get better, so you can play in the damn game and do something in the game. Unless you're trying to be a professional Instagram or a YouTuber or a TikToker, then maybe that's the game. Maybe that is the goal. But you got to know what the goal is. That's the point. So don't take your foot off the gas until you are at the point that you have achieved the outcome that you set out to achieve. Now, how can you do this if you don't have an outcome? A lot of people go to work every day with no outcome. They don't know what they're exactly trying to get to. They know they're at work. They know they're going to be there from 9 to 5, but they don't know what they're trying to achieve. They don't know when the job would actually be done because they don't have a plan. So you got to make sure there's a plan in place. Okay, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to make 800 mid-range jump shots from this spot, and I'm going to do these 10 dribbling drills, and I'm going to do this number of suicides, and then I'm good, and then I can leave the gym and go home. A lot of basketball players come to me and they would and will still to this day say, Dre, I feel like I'm working out all the time. I put in this many hours every day, but I feel like I'm not getting better. And I tell them all the same thing. The reason you're not getting better is because you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't have a plan in place. Therefore, even though you're always working, I don't think you're lying about your work. You're always working, but you're not getting any results because you don't have a plan. There's no strategy in place for you to get the results. And even then, sometimes people have strategies. I get players who will send me their whole workout. They say, I'm doing this, but I don't feel like I'm getting better. Or do you think this is a good plan? And I'm like, well, just that alone is not a good plan. Where is it taking you? What's the objective? What's the reason that you're doing it? It's the same thing in the business world. A lot of people in business, they post videos, or they might be putting out articles, or they're creating endless amounts of content. I create a ton of content, What else they do? Write books and create all kinds of things. Things you see people doing in business, posting on social media, but there's no objective. What's the angle that you're trying to get to? What's the reason that you're doing it? There's nothing wrong with publishing a lot of stuff and posting a lot of stuff. Listen, I do it. Been doing it for a long time. There has to be an angle that you're trying to get to. What are you trying to get people to do next? Yeah, I get giving them game and building a relationship and nurturing, but you always want to be pushing them to do something. Like I just told you at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how to get this book right here. I'm going to tell you to do something. And back in the days when I was more focused on basketball, I tell you, go get the basketball program. I'm going to tell you the website to go get it at. But there has to be an angle to bring people to. So don't take your foot off the gas until you are sure you are pushing people and pushing yourself to the actual end game that you want to get people to. A lot of people don't even have an end game. They're just doing stuff and don't even know why they're doing it. So make sure that you give yourself different ways of getting it done. You might not be able to get it done in the first option, then go to your second option, your third option. It's like a basketball player having multiple moves. That move doesn't work, you got this move. That doesn't work, you got a counter move. Business, you try to sell something to a client, they don't buy on the first try. All right, now you come around this way. That doesn't work, try this way. That doesn't work, try this way. So have different ways of getting it done, but make sure you're focused on getting it done. We're talking about being a finisher. Number 3, remember that in life you're ultimately judged on what you complete and what you've done. You are judged on your resume. And your resume only shows what you have gotten done. What have you finished? You probably don't want to put things on your resume where you failed, where you didn't get the job done, where you didn't complete the task. So where in life did you complete the task? Where did you get the job done? Where did you could you show up and go to your boss or to your supervisor or to your audience and say, hey, I started this, I finished it, look at this right now. If you can't do that, then what can you put on your resume? You got a bunch of things that you started but you never finished. Why would anybody be impressed by that? Why would anybody hire you? How are you going to get the next job? How are you going to get the next client? You couldn't even finish the job with the last client. So remember that in life, you are always judged on what you finish, what you complete, and what you get done. So emphasize the practice of closing the job, not just participating in the job. Those are two completely different things. All right, so what are you working on? Ask yourself that question. Where are you going? And how is the work you're doing today leading you further down the line to the ultimate outcome that you want to get to? If you can't answer that question, do some planning before you do any more work. Now, I told you I'll tell you how to get this book. It's called The Mirror of Motivation, Self-Guided Self-Discipline. I'll give it to you free. You just go to mirrorofmotivation.com. Why do you want this book? Because everybody who's listening to this, you probably understand the concept of working hard in order to achieve your goals. What you may not have ever been told about is asking yourself who you need to be as a person, so then you do the right kind of work, so then you achieve those goals and you actually have a plan for doing it, because you're starting with the most important part. Who are you being? How do you see yourself? How are you thinking? What's your approach to life? You get the being down first, then you get to the doing, then you get to the having. That's the way that it works. Mirrorofmotivation.com. I'll give you the book free. Just cover the shipping for us. Go down below into the description of this video. The link is right down there, mirrormotivation.com. And send me a text on my number. The number's down there too, 305-384-6894. Tell me the best thing you got from this video and work on your game. Dre, all